All right, so the last type of problem is when we're missing the percent. So again, the formula we're using, part over base equals percent over 100. And again, that 100 is always going to be there. Or we can write this as P over B equals R over 100. So in this case, we're going to consider where we get a part, a base, and we don't get a percent. And, well, let me put the question up here. And we don't have to use, I mean, there's different ways of solving all these types of problems, this version in particular. So we might have something like this. 4 is what percent of 23? Say we have something like that. So what do? Well, again, P, B, and R. Now, oftentimes when we see this, we can say we have 4 or some number is what's it, what percent of it, like what 7 is what percent of 10, 5 is what percent of 8. We usually divide the first number by the second number, multiply by 100, or really treat it like we're converting a fraction to a percent. But this is an alternative way of doing that. So let's take a look at this method. Now, we don't have the percent. It's what percent. So right away, that's the question mark. Now, we have to decide about 4 and 23 is which one's a part and which one's a base. Now, 4 is a percent of something. That means it's a part. And by process of elimination, we might be able to say, okay, base is 23, but you could check this conceptually. 4 is what percent of 23? 23, something's being taken out of 23 or something about 23 is being studied. We're starting with 23. 23 becomes our base. So we use our formula. Part over base equals the percent number over 100. And then cross multiply. Times 100 equals 23 times R. Divide by 23, which is the opposite of multiplying by 23. And so what that'll give for R, and let's do that division, rounding to the hundredths place, 17.39. So it turns out 4 is roughly 17.39% of 23. So that's it. And oh, for this one, do want to be careful. Let's put that percent sign. When we're solving for R, we are solving for a percent. So that's it. So any questions about that, let me know.